Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about The House, which is a Netflix original movie and a stop-motion anthology movie? Like, if those words don't excite the fuck out of you, then I don't know why you're watching this channel, because that's totally my kind of shit. Like,
yeah, so basically idea is that it is 3 stories all about the same building.
Hi, Gomez.
And indeed, one of them involves cats.
You see, Gomez is very upset that we're talking about this movie for the simple reason that one of the segments of this story involves rat people. And Gomez is not a fan of rat people.
No.
Now, the last segment involves cat people, which you'd think would make it better. But, you know, Gomez thinks that it should be cat people all the time.
Yeah. It's not 100% cat, then what is it?
You know, so he is protesting in the other room, which means after this vlog, we're probably just going to have to put some food down for him.
Yeah. Well, it'll be about time at that point.
It'll be about time. He likes to push it. It's just like, hey, it's an hour before he's supposed to eat. Well, I want food now. Meow, I want a Noopa Loopa.
Yeah.
Yep, like that. What a jerk.
Yep.
Anyway. So yeah, it's an anthology film involving 3 storylines that all take place centered around the same house with the same structure.
Yeah.
But each story is different. They're set in different time periods, and they're involving different races of creatures.
Yeah, the primary thing that they all have in common that they use to establish that it's the same house is the foyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has a very distinctive staircase.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. The first segment is 100% a horror story.
Mm-hmm.
The second segment is like a surreal David Lynchian short that's kind of horrifying, but is mostly just weird.
It's black comedy more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it reminded me of things. It reminded me of, I know I always say this when I talk about a British black comedy, but it reminded me of like How to Get Ahead in Advertising.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. And the last segment is way more of like a interpersonal journey with a uplifting conclusion. That's
a surprisingly uplifting.
Yeah,
because like you actually are kind of convinced that, oh shit, this one's gonna go bad.
Yeah,
you know, this one's gonna go bad, and then it takes a left turn.
Pretty much. All right, I am gonna pause this right here, and we're gonna go see what's wrong with the cat, because he is meowing like crazy, and it is nuts. So, how are you all out there, my fellow gorehounds? Are you enjoying watching this vlog as we pause and deal with the cat? Do you want more Gomez in these Blood Splattered vlogs? Chime in the comment section below. And Jack is back, and we didn't need to even cut. I just kept going. Yep. You know? Made sure there was no dead air.
He's fucking outside now.
Okay, good. Now we can talk about the house.
Yep. Well, it should be pretty obvious that we like this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. It's on Netflix right now. Check it out.
This movie is really cool. Like it's very creative. It's stop motion, and I just love stop motion as a style. Like, there's just something about stop motion that's so different from drawings or from even 3D animation. There's just something about it.
Yeah, there is. There's something about the jerky motion.
Yeah.
It just really works.
And I really dig it. Even though it's very obvious in certain segments of this movie that they're melding 3D animation with stop motion at times, and it works.
Yeah.
You know, because they're making the 3D animation look stop motion-y so that it matches.
Yeah. Some are obvious. Some segments are obviously like almost entirely fucking stop motion, but there are some sequences where I'm sort of like, yeah, I bet there's a bit of compositing here. You know, like there's probably some compositing here.
Man, that first segment is creepy as fuck, man. Like,
oh yeah. That one is all about like a guy, a family, small family out in the middle of British somewhere.
Yeah,
you know, like in Surrey or something.
They're a poor family on a poor farm. You know, and they essentially make a devil's bargain with this rich person to have a house built upon their land that they have to live in, and then things get really weird and creepy.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and when you meet they mainly talk to the architect and the contractors through like this solicitor.
He's kind of,
you know?
he feels like the guy's butler that's just kind of like doing all his dirty work, right?
Yeah.
You know?
And as the story goes on, you find out that this solicitor is also a prisoner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
and we'll get more into that when we get to the spoiler section, because there's some twists and turns with all these stories.
Yeah.
And that one has some creepy ass and weird twists and turns for sure. But the main weirdness that like is not really a spoiler is that the house that they're living in, they keep changing it while they're living in it.
Yeah.
They keep like adding more architecture to it and like changing the staircases and moving the places. Like certain segments are the same, but other aspects of the house, it's like a house, the house of leaves, right?
Yeah,
like,
it keeps changing.
It's ever evolving, and so like, and there's a big question of why. Like, why is this happening? And why do all the workers seem like they're slaves too?
Yeah,
you know. And the only one that notices anything's weird is the son, is the kid.
The daughter. Yeah.
Oh, it was the daughter,
yeah,
you're right.
Daughter.
It was the daughter, you're right. And then there's the little baby that's the son.
Yeah.
That's right. The daughter. And she's trying to save her little brother from whatever the fuck is going on, because her parents are just lost. You know?
Yeah. The house claims them almost immediately.
Pretty much.
You know?
You know, and I love that segment. It would be my favorite segment, but there's something about that second segment that just
oh, dude. Yeah, the second segment is absolutely the weirdest.
Yeah, the second segment involves a rat person. We now live in a world in the second segment where everyone's an animal.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with a rat person in the second segment, and he is trying to reconstruct a house in order to sell it to would-be buyers.
Yeah, he's flipping a house.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, basically. But the segment kind of starts off like this comedy of errors of like everything going wrong. He's like, "Yay, I'm gonna fix this thing," and then this breaks over here, and it's like him dealing with that. But the main reoccurring thing that keeps happening is these fucking roaches.
Yeah.
And
these roaches and these pill bugs.
And it's kind of like this Wile E. Coyote versus Roadrunner thing where he's trying to defeat these bugs, and it just keeps escalating and escalating and getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
And when we get to the spoiler section, we'll talk about like the main source of this weirdness. But I don't want to spoil that for you yet, because it's just...
Yeah. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, there are these two potential buyers that refuse to leave, but also don't buy the house.
And there's this vibe that they're like trying to like what do you call it? Like abuse the situation so that they can like have a place to live. And
yeah. Like they're just gonna be squatting in this house for as long as possible.
They're trying to squat as long as possible and push his kindness as far as possible.
They're like, we're very interested.
And this segment is watching this guy slowly just lose his mind. Like you just
like, slow descent to madness.
It's like It's like watching the burglars in Home Alone trying to stop the kid, and then eventually by the end of it, they're just losing it. Like,
they've just completely lost their goddamn minds.
Absolutely. And then the third segment takes place in a post-apocalyptic environment in which the rains came, and so it's kind of like a water world.
It's like this. There's the house, the one that we've seen in the two previous segments, but around it is just water.
Yeah, and what sometimes you see like a skyscraper peeking up underneath, so you get the vibe that this house was on like a hill, and that the rest of whatever city it was in was just buried in torrential rain for whatever reason. And the whole story centers around this cat person lady whose house it is, or at least that she inherited, and she's trying to and she's turned it into an apartment building, and she's trying to renovate it, essentially like make it work and make and make a functioning business out of it being an apartment complex.
But the problem is it's still a house in the middle of nowhere surrounded by water.
Exactly. The core problem is that she's holding on to a world and a way of being that no longer exists or needs to be. And it's about her journey therein. And this segment also has some weirdnesses, but it's definitely the least weird compared to the other two.
Well, yeah, it's not as weird compared to the second one.
Yeah.
Like, that one is like a David Lynchian mindfuck.
And this one is like not at all horror like the other two are. Like this one is way more of like a psychological journey.
It's pure drama.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It's a pure dramatic story.
It's also less of a comedy than the second one is too. Like there's some funny moments, in particular when certain characters arrive and start like interacting with her. But it is like the second segment is just hilarious all the way through, whereas this is a drama with funny moments in.
Yeah. You will be sad.
Yeah,
you know, it's
but it gets really oddly uplifting by the end of it, which you don't expect after dealing with the last two segments.
Yeah, because the last two segments don't end with the people owning the house being in a good place. Yeah,
they're not happy segments. But anyway, I loved all three stories. The second one's probably my favorite, and the first one would have been my favorite had the second one not existed.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, it was a really good foot forward, but like, I think putting the rat one in the middle was the right choice because because none of them, they're all really good.
Yeah.
So like, best foot, a good foot forward. Mm-hmm. Then the second story is the best one, and the third one is definitely as good as the first.
Yeah, I would agree.
Definitely.
It's just a very different type of story.
Yeah, it's super different. So, like, you do find yourself going,
But here's the thing: it's an anthology story in which every story is solid. There's only three of them, but they're all solid.
Yeah. None of them suck.
And so I'd rather that than like have like a segment that just weighs everything down.
Well, yeah, because like you don't want a King Woodenhead.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, this is a highly creative stop motion picture. I cannot stress this enough. If you like stop motion, if you like animation, check this out. If you like animated horror stories, definitely check it out because like the first two got some cool stuff. Oh
yeah. That's way closer to horror than the last one.
If you're a furry, there's two segments here with animated creature people. So anthropomorphic animals in this, and you're probably gonna dig that. Not really my bag, but might be your bag. Just if you like good storytelling too, like good weird storytelling.
Yeah,
like weird shit. Keep watching fucked up movie shit.
Yes.
That's the other thing. It's weird because this gets so dark and weird at times that it almost doesn't feel like a children's story, but when I think about it, nothing goes so far to where it can't be.
Yeah, exactly. It's like nothing is too bloody or too scary.
Yeah.
Like it's not so... The first one is definitely the creepiest.
Oh yeah, if I was a kid, that would terrify the shit out of me, that first one.
Yeah,
right? Not just because the story is nice and creepy, but like the animation style of the first one is just done in this kind of slightly unsettling manner that's very subtle.
Because it's all felt puppets.
Yeah.
And
they all have these like really stiff kind of like expressions. It's like they're like creepy dolls that are talking.
Yeah. Yeah, you just like, that's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Whereas in the second one, like the animation is nice and smooth, and while it's weird, it's weird in a much more comfortable way.
It's also like the second one's a lot more like directly relatable. Like, when you're watching that second one, you're sitting there going like, oh, man, that's what it's like trying to fix a faucet.
Trying to fix the house. Oh, hey, look, there's a crack there. Oh, well.
Oh, you probably should have considered. He didn't think about it.
He didn't think about that. He didn't do. That's not what you should have done.
If you've done any sort of housing renovation whatsoever, then that segment's going to be like deeply relatable. Same thing with the third segment for the record, because the third segment has some of that as well.
Yeah, it does. It does. But like the third segment, it's in the second segment, it's a little bit more, you fucking idiot. Whereas in the third one, it's way more, you need to, okay, look, you got to start being realistic with what you accomplish here.
Yeah.
Like you are in a house on an island that's just the size of the house, surrounded by water. Okay,
you need a perspective check here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, I want to put. It's like I want to fix the faucets. It's like, you're underwater.
Yeah.
You know, we're past that.
Your priorities are all out of whack. Anyway, my fellow Gorehounds, it is currently available on Netflix. It is a Netflix original movie. And for the people in the comment section asking what that noise is, it's Jack scratching his...
my foot?
Yeah, some people have asked in other vlogs what that random, like, scratching noise is in certain vlogs.
Goddamn shotgun Mike.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all right. It's all right. But he's just itching his foot while it's like a nervous tick.
Nervous tick. Yeah.
You know? It's kind of like my tendency to giggle all the time. It's a nervous tick. So now, for people wondering, now you know.
Now you know. That's what that is. So now when you hear it, you'll be able to envision it. And if you're a foot fetishist, that might be okay. But if you don't like that sound, it's going to drive you fucking mad.
We're going to be really creeped out because, like, in a couple days, someone with, like, the name Quentin Tarantino is going to fucking message and be like, yes.
Yeah, you what?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, that would be kind of creepy. Yeah.
I like Quentin Tarantino, but have you seen him lately? That man is ugly as fuck.
Oh, I wasn't even going to go there.
It's even gotten worse the older he's gotten.
Oh, jeez.
I love that man. He makes amazing movies. But he was never a looker.
Oh no! Like he's kind of. I saw a picture of him from a few years ago. He's kind of looking like a Brian Froud baby.
Yeah,
you know.
Have you seen that meme of him looking around the apartment?
Yes. Yeah.
That's about what he looks like.
Yeah. It's like you know, it's like he's kind of looking like a Dark Crystal Muppet a little.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's sometimes a celebrity reaches an age where they look like the characters people used to draw of them.
Yes,
on animated like comedy shows. Like he's reached that point.
Yeah, he's at that moment. He's at that point in his life.
Anyway, let us move on to the spoilers and talk about some of the weirdest shit that happens in these stories. All right.
So in the first one, the parents start turning into furniture.
Yeah. They start becoming part of the house. It's like the house is a Lovecraftian creature that you become a part of it as time goes on. And the story ends up being the daughter trying to escape with the baby. You know, so that they can survive because the parents are gone. Like the mom becomes these fucking curtains and the dad becomes this sofa chair.
Yeah. You know, and oh God, you know, she runs into the solicitor and he's like in between the walls, like, fucking freaking out and crying. He's like, he just pays me. I'm not allowed to leave. He's like, oh, okay.
And you find out he was an actor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the giant fucking thing that keeps pulling people away when they start to reveal too much. Like this weird giant head appears and like grabs them and then scurries off into the darkness.
What the fuck? And occasionally you see the architect and he's just like this fucking insane dude.
Oh God. And they all have like those
just like fucking like Napoleon or Beethoven or something.
And they all have like these like pale faces and these dark like shadows under their eyes, like they're already dead.
Yep.
It's fucking creepy as shit. It's super fucking creepy.
Yeah. So the kid does escape, but the house doesn't make it.
But he loses his parents. You know? Or she loses her parents. She loses
her parents. They're done.
Which is pretty dark for a fucking kid's story. And then we get to the second segment where the big weirdness that kind of escalates in this is... Okay, well, first off, there's a point in which when he's trying to defeat the fucking, like, cockroach things, where they have a giant musical number taunting him.
Yeah, and, like, that was super weird. It's very much, like, it reminds me of a slightly more whimsical version of the last bit from Creepshow.
Exactly. He's, like, dealing with a very similar problem, but it goes in this weird fucking Lynchian direction. But the thing that, like... really tips this over the scales is the two squatters that have arrived and like are trying to like
we're very interested in your house.
It becomes clear as the story goes on that they're basically giant bugs.
Yeah, they're like bug mice people.
Yeah, they're like giant bugs in mice costumes. And there's a point in which their whole family arrives, and it's a bunch of giant bugs and mouse costumes people. And there's a point in which the main character mouse rat person loses their mind and reaches the point of, if you can't beat them, join them. And so the last shot of this segment is all the mouse/rat people scurrying along the walls like they're the roaches.
Like they're bugs, yeah.
And the main character just being a rat and like eating garbage.
Yeah, eating garbage.
And
then
scurrying into a hole in the wall.
Hole.
Like he's gone feral. It's weird as fuck, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the only, like, the squatters don't have a lot of dialogue, but they keep saying that line,
"We're very interested in your house."
You know?
And there's also that weird moment where the cops arrive, and you get the implication that, like, wait, do you even own this house that you're flipping?
Yeah.
Was this all a con?
Yeah, like,
to begin with?
Throughout the entire thing, the rat main character has been like calling someone on a phone. You assume it's like a wife or a girlfriend.
It's his dentist.
Yeah, this is his dentist,
and the dentist calls the police on him because this weird guy keeps calling me and telling me his life story, and I just want him to leave me alone.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, if you call him again, we're gonna have to come and take you in. Like, it's just
yeah, and it turns into this weird thing where you're just sitting there going, does anybody own this house?
Yeah.
The answer's kind of no.
You find yourself in this situation where you're watching it going like, wait, is anything in this real? Are you crazy? Are you what? Something about you is completely off.
Yeah.
You know, but it's never given an explanation in a true, like this is why this segment feels the most Lynchian, where just weird things happen without explanation and you're just supposed to accept it.
Yeah, this one is very unmoors itself from reality completely at some point.
And you reach this point at the end where you don't know what's real, what's not. Is the main character even who they are? Or are they just fucking a rat in the wall that's been hallucinating this whole thing?
Yeah, you have no fucking clue.
I have no clue. But I know that I loved the experience.
Oh god, like when he has the accident and then has to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the squatters show up and they're like,
"I think it's time to take you home."
Yeah.
And that's the point where he just accepts his fate.
That segment also has this vibe of like you're part of the family, you are home or whatever, which is just like, wait, what? What's going on here?
Yeah, you know, because it's not like we're gonna keep you here and torture you intentionally.
No.
It's like, no, we like you. You should come live with us. These giant bugs pretending to be mice people, you know? Like, what the fuck?
But I love it.
You know.
And it's the only segment that has a musical segment. Like,
that musical number in the middle of it, it comes out of nowhere. You know, you're just like, okay.
It's weirdly the turning point of the story too. It's like when he officially starts to lose his mind.
Yeah.
You know,
like he was always kind of on the edge before, but now he's like way over it. You know.
And then you get to the third segment, and the third segment, basically what ends up happening in the story is one of the people that's renting the apartment from her, and this is what's very clear at the beginning, is that the two people that live in the building with her, she treats them like tenants, but they're her friends.
Yeah.
And they see her as a friend, and they're constantly trying to break that barrier and go like, no, like there's no rent, there's no tenants or whatever, there's no jobs.
Yeah.
We're on a fucking island in the middle of the water. There's no one else but us anywhere for miles. What do you mean I gotta pay you rent? Here, have a fish. Fish is food. Fish is like,
yeah. Here's something you can use. You know, money. What's that? What are you gonna buy? Where are you gonna buy shit from?
This is a story about like the last capitalist who's like has to let go of all the programming after the world has collapsed.
Yeah. Yeah, and then her opposite shows up, which is
this weird hippie dude.
This weird hippie cat, who I feel is like kind of a combination of both me and Yogi, actually, when you get
what I
down to
love
it.
about this character is that when he first shows up, you first get the vibe that he's completely like a con artist.
Yeah,
full
he's
of
really
shit.
sus when he first shows up. Yeah.
He like comes across like completely full of shit. But as the story goes on, you realize that he's actually giving her legit advice. And the things he's saying, he's not wrong about. She does have to let go of these things. She does have to, see the world through a new lens because the world has changed and she needs to change with it. And and he is right that she does need to like get high and chill out.
Yes. Yeah. So, just fucking smoke this.
So this leads to her having an existential crisis, which manifests in this weird nightmare sequence. That's less horror and more just like her dramatic journey.
Yeah. It's more about despair.
Yeah. And the way this story ends up culminating is the people that live on the island with her are leaving to go to someplace else to make a new life someplace else.
Like this place is sinking.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
We need to leave. We've done all we can here. And trying to convince her to go with them. And they left her this lever. And you're like, well, what's the lever? What happens if she pulls the lever? But she doesn't. She's mad at them, so she doesn't pull it or whatever. But then she has the whole dream sequence. And then she finally pulls the lever. And it turns the entire apartment building into a boat.
Yeah.
Turning it from something that is useless and no longer necessary from a bygone world into something that's actually useful and necessary for the current world.
Yeah.
Well, without her losing the thing she loves.
The important thing. Yeah. The bit that she likes.
It's changing with the times,
Yeah.
And so you get this really cool kind of like almost Spielbergian uplifting sequence at the end where it turns into the boat and she's like taking off and her friends are down below in their boats going like, hey!
Yeah. It felt like or like the end of like Bahr Munchausen.
Bahr Munchausen, yeah. Yeah. A little bit of that too. And it legit makes you feel good, And I gotta give them credit because, like, there's a certain point where you start to get really mad at the main character in that segment, and so, like, they really turn that around.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Like because the young boy cat, who is her friend who keeps offering her the fish.
Yeah,
like. She gets mad at him because like he doesn't have a job, but then you start to realize the situation. You're like, what job is this guy gonna do?
Yeah.
If he's the one feeding everybody because he's the fisherman, isn't that his job?
This is a great example of what I mean when I say it's like the last capitalist who's latched on to the old ways. Because it's just like, well, what's the point of the job? Well, the point of the job is to make money so that you can put food on the table.
Right.
He's putting food on the table.
Yeah, directly.
Yeah. Where are you going to spend your money? Like your rent money? Like,
exactly. Like you never see a store or anything like that. The
food is a thing you can actually use. It will keep you alive and going, right? Like,
yep.
But she's so attached to this landlord-tenant dynamic that like she misses opportunities. Like, hey, come and sit. We're gonna watch this thing on TV.
Yeah.
And then. She doesn't want to do that, but she's got to keep that barrier between being their landlord and being their friend.
Being their friend, even though like there's no reason to keep being their landlord.
Absolutely. And I thought it was beautiful.
Also you get that really like fucking that moment where she realized that she never knew that the one cat was a painter.
How long have you known these people? How long have they lived here?
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Because you kept this barrier up the whole time.
Yep.
It's a really good story, and it's really well done. And no segment feels like it's too long or too short. They all feel like they're the right length.
Yeah, and the whole thing ends with this song that probably would have only been better if it had been sung by Tom Waits.
Oh, yeah, that song,
like a house is just a box of bricks.
Yeah. It did feel like it was Tom Waits Light singing that song.
Yeah. It definitely felt like lyrically, it was definitely felt like a Tom Waits song.
Absolutely.
You know?
I love this movie. Like, I highly recommend it. Apparently, Netflix has more stop motion coming soon. They have Guillermo del Toro's stop motion Pinocchio
one.
story.
Yeah, I'm
down.
Kind of. Yeah, next year, like this year and next year is going to be the year of Pinocchio because there's also like a Pinocchio-based video game that's coming out.
Weird.
yeah, it's really odd.
I wonder what's in the water that like causes that.
I have no idea because I'm like, huh.
Well, because usually for something that sparks that is something really like successful.
Yes.
Happens, and then everything tries to imitate that, but there hasn't been like a really successful Pinocchio adaptation yet. Like there might be one later this year, but there hasn't been one yet. So.
Right, exactly. It's did a fucking copyright lapse or something? You know,
maybe.
I have no idea.
The copyright lapsed on the original Winnie the Pooh stories. Recently.
Oh, that's true.
Not the Dizzee version. You can't put him in that specific red shirt.
Yeah, that.
But the original Pooh.
Yeah, the original one was just a stuffed bear.
Yeah,
you can do that.
Absolutely. I want someone to make just a fucked up R-rated Winnie the Pooh now, just to like really fuck with Disney.
Oh, there's a Meat Canyon episode that does that.
Oh snap! Anyway, my fellow gorehounds, I think we've said all we need to say about the house. So, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
No, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/count_Jackula, where I stream throughout the week, and I always try to hit every Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you would like to be notified when I go on stream online each time, you can follow me at Counting Jack. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Satanic Jackula, all of which are places I will gladly interact with people who write messages into the computer. I'm trying to figure out how I could do this more awkwardly, but I don't know.
We're punchy as fuck today, and this is the only vlog we're recording today for that reason, and it's definitely showing in this vlog how weird and punchy we are right now.
Yeah, it's like if we did another movie, what would it be? It's like, it was the poop.
We would just turn into that Kanye West song, like boopity scoopity.
Boopity scoopity poop. You know, like, what is going on?
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there.
Oh yeah, I stream horror games. Yeah, I probably should mention that. Yeah.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified about videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, then be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, if you made it this far into the vlog...
Hashtag very interesting.
Alright. If you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag very interested. That way I know, that way Jack knows, that way the whole world knows you watched this vlog all the way through. And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, this is the only vlog we're recording this week because it's been a long and messy week full of friends losing animals and friends losing loved ones, and so we need to chill a little bit.
Yeah. It's not been a great week for that guy.
No.
Like, I wonder what it was, because like a whole bunch of shit is hit at once.
I don't know, man.
You know,
it's just one of those weeks.
Yeah. It's like I want to blame COVID, but it was like everything but COVID for some reason.
True.
Like, you know, because I know that's going to be an assumption. Oh, you know, people died of COVID or something. Actually,
no, you would think. You'd
think. Yeah,
not this week for us.
We wouldn't blame you for assuming, but it just wasn't the case.
You know.
Oh God. Yeah, like. Not only that, but okay, you know what? No, that's depressing. So let me tell you, I am not the average horror game streamer because I have here's the thing. I love movies. I am highly critical of horror video games. Like,
I noticed.
If you want to see someone do the, like, oh my god, it's fucking bullshit. The fuck is wrong with you? Who's writing this crap? You know, like, to do that? No, it's the video games where I do that. Because that's where I feel like I have a standard that doesn't get met.
Yeah.
Whereas with a lot of the movies that we watch, I'm like, no, you actually... Yeah, a lot of these
you met that
actually,
threshold.
Yeah, you met the minimum threshold. There was a long period of time when a lot of horror movies just weren't, and they're bad. But like that was like years ago at this point.
Yeah,
you know, now it's all pretty good. You know, however, some of them video games ain't so great. Hey, let's make another video game based off of the Unreal Engine. We're going to use Unity this time. Awesome! Yay! You didn't add for the tool you used. Did you write the story? No. I hate you. You know,
that is usually the thing that suffers in a video game, right?
the ending. Ending, and I'm like, no. In a horror video game, the ending is really fucking important. In a lot of others, it's not as important. You know, just that there is an ending is usually all you really need. But a horror video game, it's different because that's when fucking dude's faces gotta melt off.
That's true.
You know, and if you don't have some face melting thing that fucking happens, you just sort of sit there and go, And in a video game, it's real easy to take the laziest narrative way out.
True, yeah.
And whoa. I don't know how many times it's like, oh, are we in an asylum? Okay, the main character was crazy the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, you gonna do anything else with that? Nope. All right.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like video games tend to video games where a lot of the formulaic horror stories are kind of existing right now. So.
Yeah, particularly in the indie video game scene, which is kind of weird.
And they often don't have the benefit of having like a really good execution.
Yeah,
even if it's a very formulaic story, they often don't have that benefit.
Yeah, because how to put it. The mechanical and visual differences between something like Beast Inside and Firewatch is pretty negligible. Mm-hmm. You know, you would know that you were playing one over the other if you were familiar with both.
Makes sense.
You know, but if you weren't, you'd just be like, yeah, I'm first person walking around. I'm carrying a floating knife, you know, like that kind of shit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm used to like the indie scene coming up with the real cutting edge shit.
The really cutting edge creative shit.
Yeah, particularly in the horror genre. But like here, it's like, no, the indie video game scene is doesn't quite know how to tell a scary story.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, occasionally there's a really good one, but like for the most part,
I still vote. And if any of you out there agree with me, then feel free to let him know. I want to start a petition to get you to play that copy of Yakuza Like a Dragon I got you.
Oh! Well, see, there's apparently also a petition to get me to play that Cthulhu dating game.
All right, well, fair enough. I think right now that would make more sense.
Yeah.
That would make more sense,
yeah.
But I'm still rooting for Like a Dragon.
Right.
Not a horror game, but I just know it's going to be Jack's kind of shit.
Oh.
Hope you enjoyed that little chat about video games.
Mm-hmm.